Speed Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Joey Logano punches his ticket into the next round, and IndyCar continues to shoot themselves in the foot, and Denny Hamlin speaks. Is anybody listening? Because no other owner's talking, right? We'll get to all those stories coming up, including Scott Borchetta, owner of one of the largest record label groups on the planet, from rock to country, Motley Crue, Dolly Parton, Brantley Gilbert, Sheryl Crow. I could go... and Lady A, I could go on and on and on. He is now part of the promotion, the ownership of the IndyCar finale in Nashville, and he's promoting this thing. He's going to join us in the second hour. Look forward to hearing from him. He's got a lot of things to say. Big first hour, Freak Nation. We got our first playoff underway with Atlanta, and we're going to ask the question, man, is it a good idea to have Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol, your first three races for the first round, and we'll tell you why coming up. Statman, Crash Gladys, Kenny Sargent, Richard C. Suave. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, Facebook and the website, speedfreaks.tv. Got to ask you this, Freak Nation. Joey Logano, is he the new Kevin Harvick?
Oh.
Is Joey Logano, Richard C. Suave, the new Kevin Harvick?
That's what they were asking on NBC after the race, right? Kyle Petty brought this up, and he was talking about Joey Logano kind of being this new big race driver where he's the one that goes out and wins the big races and shows up when he needs to. He didn't have that great of a season, right? In the regular season, he won the one race. He missed out on winning at Worldwide Technology Raceway because he ran out of fuel. He wasn't really running up front as much as we're used to seeing him run up front, the two-time champion. And first round of the playoffs, he shows up, gets up front on that last restart and runs away with it and gets the win. And he was asked about if he is the new Kevin Harvick. Is he the new closer?
I don't know exactly what it is. I think some people are kind of born a certain way and like a very competitive people. And there's times that bites me as much as it helps me. But yeah, I feel like, and I try to reach it every race, but it just seems like the playoffs, seem to work for us as a team. I mean, I wouldn't say it's just me, right? I mean, our whole team really does a good job at thriving in these scenarios. And, you know, I talked a little bit earlier today about, you know, their work ethic, their experience level of this race team. When we go into the playoffs, it doesn't really affect us much, right? And sometimes pressure can either make you crack and fall apart, or it's going to make you better. Right. And for us, it seems like with the experience that we have and the been there, done that, we just kind of know how to handle it.
Statman, I might ask that question of Joey Logano on a road course or a track that's more demanding of the driver versus kind of a crapshoot like Atlanta or Daytona or Talladega. What about you?
I'm not sure. Logano, as far as Logano being the next Kevin Harvick, I don't think that doesn't make sense. They're just looking for conversation there. And until he starts blaming his crew for mistakes that he makes, he's not going to be the next Kevin Harvick. No, I think whatever Logano is, he's his own man, and he fights to keep it that way, and trying to compare him to somebody else is just looking for clicks.
I thought he was sliced bread.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying, I thought he was sliced bread. I look at this a little differently. Is he the next closer, the next one to show up big when it's necessary? Potentially. The sample size, at least on this season, is still very small because we've just now entered the playoffs. But I think this actually brings up another question. And I know we're going to be talking more about the playoffs throughout this first hour, but is it a victim, or is this sort of scenario indicative of how the playoffs and the championship are set up? He had his win earlier. Yeah, I know Worldwide Technology Racing's loss sucked because he ran out of fuel, but it was great that his teammate won, whatever. But he was bummed about that. However, he didn't have to have a great season. He had a win and he was into the playoffs. Again, we've been talking about this and at least hinting certain aspects of this conversation for a while. Is that the end all be all necessary statement that NASCAR wants for their playoffs? You win, you're in. You can have a otherwise crappy season because guess what? The win gets you in the season, the playoffs.
Richie, we're playing off what NBC said post-race. Kyle Petty, Dale Jarrett talking about Joey Logano possibly being the new closer, the Kevin Harvick-style closer. I agree with Crash. There's not enough evidence for me to crown him the new closer. How did they do you remember, Richie, how they zeroed in on him being the closer? Because, again, this is Atlanta, which is kind of like Daytona Light or Talladega Light, where it could be Joey Logano or it could have been Harrison Burton. It could be one of those back markers pulling up in there. And
well, the reason why is, he's a 2-time champion for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have his results here pulled up, and his 2 previous championship seasons, he's won big races to get there, right? He won Phoenix to win the championship. He won Homestead to win the championship. And then he won the round prior. He won in the round of 8 to clinch himself a spot in the final 4. So he just knows how to do it in the playoffs. And that's why he's as good as he is, because even in his press conference, he won that race, right? And like a lot of drivers would be like, oh, they'd be celebrating, right? We won a playoff race or advance into the round of 12. And his entire press, he was as cool as the rule, like the entire 30 minutes up there when they were asking him questions, just like, another race, we'll move on. And when it gets championship time, he's ready to go.
This recency bias, they used to talk about Logano as being someone who couldn't close the deal. So he wins a couple of races and now he's the new deal closer.
In big moments.
Yeah, that's just clickbait. I don't think that's the case. Logano has won 2 championships, like Richie said. But as far as being the guy who's going to step up to the plate and, hit home runs whenever he needs to, that's not him. He wins or he doesn't.
We know about restarts on these wild-ass tracks. Was Joey Logano confident on that last restart?
I did. I really felt like when we were in the lead coming to take the white and the caution came out when we were up top there and I had him side by side behind me, at that point I said, man, I really think I got it won. At that point I thought everything was going to go pretty good the next lap. I just had to keep him too wide for another lap. So I felt pretty good about that. And when the caution came out, I was kind of like, your restarts, just things change. Fuel wasn't really much in there, so it was fairly empty. So it all ended up working out. But you start getting restart after another green white checker, and all of a sudden you're out of gas, and you have a day that looks like you can win or score a ton of points to running out of gas. Could be that quick. So taking the white was key for us, just to this is a base hit type of race. Right, like, there's a point there. It's like, you take a 5th out of today, and you feel pretty good about it. I feel much better about taking a win, but that's just kind of what this racetrack's about.
A base hit of a race. I think if you win the first race, the ability to chill for the next 2 difficult races, Crasher, with Watkins Glen and Bristol. Come on, it's gravy.
There should be something to be said for that. Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the coming down, and I don't want to shoot our wad right now, Freak Nation.
Okay. Hello.
Easy, Suave. You're the one that went in the gutter with that. But I don't want to talk about it. We got about a minute and a half right now. We're going to talk about it in the next segment. But Jesus, man, it's Atlanta. Celebrate the fact that you won that wild ass card. And I used a metaphor that Richie's not real comfortable with. It's okay, Richie. We're going to be okay, my friend. Everybody has your email.
Kenny said it.
Yeah.
Because if Statman or myself or you, Richie, had said it,
Mr. Mav TV is going to give us a phone call.
You just can email Statman at statmc@speedfreaks.tv.
Email Kevin Harvick, he said.
Yeah. Again, Kyle Petty and Dale Jarrett talking about Joey Logano being the new closer, the new Kevin Harvick. I got half of my leg on Statman's bus there about it being clickbait. It's just the sample size, as Crasher said, it's just not there. Maybe it's just the fact that he just doesn't create a dividing line for me now. When I'm at races in 2024 versus races 10 years ago, the boos were so prevalent for Joey Logano, it was bananas. Now it's like, hey, yeah, right. I mean, Denny Hamlin sucked all the boos out of Joey Logano.
Denny Hamlin has sucked the booze out of everybody this year until his charter talks, which is another topic we'll get to later on this hour.
Is that a T-shirt?
Suck the booze out of?
Joey Logano. Suck the booze out of...
No, Denny Hamlin sucked the booze out of everyone.
That's BOOS,
right.
Freak Nation.
Because he beat your favorite driver.
Yes. And we will talk about that. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, 2 front runners to win the championship. Bam! The carnage in Atlanta. Also coming up, more charter issues. And Denny Hamlin stepped right smack dab in the middle, and he's waving the big charter flag for other owners. Find out. We got Denny Hamlin coming up. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add 1 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. 1 bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Freak Nation, this segment brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com. Check out a line of products to keep your motorcycle, your sports car, your family sedan, your minivan. All on the road, fat and happy. Go to lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com. Coming up, Denny Hamlin will join us here in the Freak Nation talking about the charter system. And Crasher had a chance to catch up with Denny a few days ago at the NASCAR Playoff Media Day and got some insight from Denny Hamlin specifically for the Freaks that we'll share with you. But to Atlanta, you had Joey Logano going on for the win. Atlanta, which could be a wild card race. Bristol could be a wild card race. Next weekend's race, Watkins Glen can be a wild card race or just a damn race where the best driver wins. But you have 3 races with Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol where Crasher and Schwabe threw it out there. Is it a good idea to have these 3 races as the first round of your playoffs? Because it can kind of be a crapshoot for some of them.
Well, the bottom line is you have these 3 races together to begin the first round of eliminations, or as our daughter calls it, the drivers that go into the demotion zone. And you risk by having races like Atlanta and Bristol and Watkins Glen bunched together in this first cutoff round, you risk big names going out. I just don't know necessarily if that's always good for the sport. We already have some unique names in the playoff system this year, which has raised some eyebrows and caused some people to already begin the argument of, is this playoff points arrangement really good? Well, now you've got first round wild cards in which, well, your is it really good becomes, is it really, really good? I don't know. People are questioning it. Let's just put it that way. There's risk involved.
And are you also leading into the fact that, again, what happened today with Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, 2 front runners that are out, again,
a lot of playoff drivers had issues. You could look at Ryan Blaney. Dent Wizard was the perfect sponsor for him on Sunday. Harrison Burton was involved in that last crash. I mean, he had a good day going. This could have been a good wild card race for him, but then that went up in a wreck. So a lot of playoff drivers with issues, and we almost had a non-playoff driver taking the win.
Statman, you got a problem with these first 3 races?
Not at all. If you're going to be a champion, you've got to win. And I don't see any problem with champions winning when they're not supposed to. And I think the biggest thing is that NASCAR wants people talking about it. We think it's the big, the end all racing, but NASCAR, the way it got that way is that people talk about it and they talk about it. And that's what's happening now. That's what we're doing. So I think that's what they wanted to do, was to throw the wild card in there so that people will talk about it.
Isn't that what we've clamored about for 20 years? Excuse me. Is mixing it up in NASCAR with a craps style race to kick it off, then a road course, and then Bristol of all things.
Yeah, I mean, some people would argue that Ryan Blaney winning the championship last year was a, who's he kind of thing. It wasn't Larson, it wasn't Logano, it wasn't Kyle Busch. Ryan Blaney stepped to the plate and he won a championship. So, what's wrong with new people winning championships and deepening the bench in NASCAR?
Richie,
okay, well, hold on a second. Then let's go back to the argument we've had the last couple of weeks. And what's wrong with new people winning the championship? What's wrong with new names deepening the bench? Then do we need to worry about, for this playoff cutoff, do we need to worry about anybody being in the top 20 in points just to make it, or the top 30 in points just to make it? Because new names will then come in otherwise.
If you're talking about Harrison Burton jumping over 20 guys, I think that's a problem, because he didn't show himself to be championship material. He won a race. Big deal. Yes, if he was in the top 20 in points, at least, instead of in the mid 30s, then at least he would show he's relatively competitive. I personally think Darrell Wallace has become a driver now who is worthy of being in the playoffs, but he's not winning enough races, so he doesn't qualify. But he's a better driver than Harrison Burton by 20 or more places in the point standings. So yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say. But if you got lucky and won a race, and that's a bad choice of words, but if you win a random race and you get into the playoffs, I think that's a problem.
Richie, would we be having a different discussion if a non-playoff driver won this race, or if a non-playoff driver won this race, not including Kyle Busch?
We've been having the same discussion for a decade, I feel like, because people said the same thing about having Daytona and Talladega in the playoffs. I think Talladega has been in the playoffs, I think, every year since this current format has been in, and it's usually in that, round of 12 or round of 8. And then next year it's going to be in that round of 8 qualifying for the final 4. So this is nothing new. And I think Statman, you nailed it, because guess what? Super speedways like this, drafting tracks, it's part of the thing. It's you when you sign up to be a NASCAR driver, you're going to be racing on all types of different tracks, and drafting tracks like this, Atlanta is so unique that I love having it in the playoffs, because it is a 1.5 miles that races like a super speedway. And if you want to be a champion, you got to survive in advance. There's some luck involved? Sure. But you know what you can do to avoid that most of the time? Get out front and lead the race, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. That's the Kyle Larson factor. Get up front, be up front in points. He ended the regular season second in points. That was a good enough cushion that when he had such issues on Sunday in Atlanta, it mattered, but not as much as if he were further down in the playoff points. So yeah, You're right. Just freaking win and be consistently up front. All the rest of the stuff takes care of itself.
For the record, real quick, Kyle Larson is now 10th. He has 15-point advantage over the cutoff, 13th. Denny Hamlin is now 11th. He is 2 points ahead of the cutoff. Ty Gibbs is 12th, 1 point ahead of Brad Keselowski, who is currently 13th. That's what your playoff points look like right now.
I don't think we sound like this, but it reminds me of the conversation that you'll hear the old guys back in the National Football League that'll talk about playing playoff football in Green Bay or Cleveland or Buffalo outdoor, where it's the elements that also help decide the game. And these tracks also help decide the winner from time to time. So it's kind of a crapshoot, which is fine with me, man.
Hey, the race was great today, man. The finish was great. It was terrific. Daniel Suarez going 3 wide again in Atlanta, just like he did earlier this year. More of that, please. Other than that stupid Walmart banner that caused a caution late in the race.
That was so...
That was planned. Come on. Right?
I mean, they were a co-sponsor of the race, so very well played. Let's put it that way.
I mean,
very well played.
We've gotten pretty freaking creative with our sponsorship. With our sponsorship, as my microphone falls off.
And now we need a new microphone.
No, we don't. I just need to tighten that SOP better. I was going to point to my General Tire hat back there, my Lucas Oil over my shoulder here. That's awesome.
That works.
I love live radio.
Oh my goodness, this will be on the highlight reel. I guarantee it, Freak Nation.
Your General Tire hat on top of a Bob Ross stuffy. FYI.
You see there, Freak Nation? This is kind of like Atlanta and Bristol and Watkins Glen all in one. It happened right in front of you, man.
It's a wild card.
But I'm going to finish this damn race. I'm going to win this damn race.
You go, Joey Logano.
The show kept going on, and that's the point. That's exactly.
Right. Wish we had playback, man. We could roll this thing back.
Kenny breaks Mike.
Yeah.
All right. I like Bob Dole there. What will it take for NASCAR to just plain drop the playoffs and for us to stop having to act like it's legitimate? Oh, okay. Well, racing, IndyCar doesn't need playoffs. Sports cars don't need playoffs. Just saying.
Salary caps.
Premier League doesn't need playoffs.
Sometimes
I like the idea of relegating teams if they don't do well, get them out of here.
That could work.
Freak Nation, Denny Hamlin, evidently, as I try and maneuver my microphone here, Denny Hamlin is evidently the lone representative left regarding team owners and this whole charter business.
Two teams are left, but he's the only one speaking.
Yeah. The only one speaking out loud and speaking loud enough to where people are jamming microphones in his face.
Yeah.
That's why he joins us next, because we got a big old fat microphone we're going to stick in his face, Freak Nation. Denny Hamlin next, right here. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Your Statman Scat, brought to you by STEM Stories, When Racing Goes to School and Grows Up, by Bill Wood, a.k.a. Statman. Now look, motorsports are at a crossroads, and out of the cloudy future, however, comes STEM education. Motorsports are the perfect vehicle to teach science, technology, engineering, and math to the next generation of racing fans. Get a copy of STEM Stories now at Amazon.com.
I'm beginning to think bargaining table talks in motorsports won't work anymore. It's not like factory workers and management where the workers speak with a single unionized voice. Teams don't have common needs like lunch pail factory workers. I'm looking at this from the outside, and it appears only the two teams are holding out. So if you believe the reports, NASCAR's most successful teams like Hendrick, Gibbs, and Penske bought the final offer from NASCAR. Denny, who drives for Gibbs and is a part owner in 2311 Racing, says NASCAR forced or coerced teams like Hendrick, Gibbs, and Penske into signing the latest charter agreement. Really? Hamlin is the loudest voice in this ugliness, and he keeps saying the teams don't get a large enough slice of the NASCAR pie. But teams like Hendrick, Gibbs, and Penske are slicing different pies. Hendrick and Penske run billion-dollar businesses, and Gibbs has billion-dollar partners on Wall Street. Asking NASCAR for larger slices isn't the business now. Hamlin keeps saying teams don't like NASCAR's final offer. Well, maybe he doesn't speak for everyone. Peace.
Here's a thought. Is it NASCAR, or does NASCAR have Joe Gibbs, Rick Hendrick, Roger Penske? This is going to sound awfully brave of me. Does he have those guys been over a barrel to where they can't make a move like this? That a little bit of Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, who have kind of an independent team over here, and it's not the big conglomerate that's been in NASCAR for so many years, that they can be as vocal as they are?
I see what you're saying. I look at it more as Roger Penske, Joe Gibbs, Rick Hendrick, this revenue sharing model or a change in the revenue sharing model doesn't matter as much to them because they've already made it, so to speak, with the old way of doing things, that they don't need another couple of million coming their way because they've figured out how to make it work as is. That's the way I look at it. In what we're going to play with Denny Hamlin coming up, Denny admits that, teams are going to do what they feel is in the best interest of themselves. And that's fine. It's just that Denny and Michael Jordan's team, obviously Curtis is a part of this as well. Curtis's last name is escaping
Curtis
you.
Polk.
Curtis Polk, thank you very much. Curtis Polk, Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin with 2311 think differently, as does Bob Jenkins with Front Row Motorsports. So is Denny Hamlin speaking for everyone? No, but he is speaking for others. I don't know if Keselowski with RFK was a part of who Denny Hamlin was speaking for, but I do know, based on recent articles that came out this week, that Keselowski was like, you know what? We signed because it's time to just move forward. And we're not going, well, I'm paraphrasing him, so Don't take my words verbatim, but it's like, hey, it's good enough. We need to move forward, basically, is the way I took it. So there are kind of three trains of thought there, and what I spit out just there for the Freak Nation.
Well, like I said, I think the business model is changing, and Keselowski, Gibbs, Penske, Hendrick, they're all saying, all right, cool, let's move on. We got to be in the race. So if this is a way to make sure we're in the race so that we can tell all of our other business interests we're out there, that's what's important. And I think part of what Crash is saying is true, is that they're not dependent on NASCAR to give them another $1 million that's going to make or break them. But I think their business model is changing, and I think all of the racing business model is changing. I think that's part of the delay in IndyCar, where there's a few teams, Penske again, and Andretti and Ganassi. They have interests that are outside of IndyCar, and they're probably the ones that are saying, let's just get on with it, where other teams like, some of this Hukos,
Hollinger, Graham Rahal, Hollinger.
Hall, these teams that aren't as well funded, they are more dependent upon sharing some of the money that comes in over the transom. And Penske is saying, let's just get on with it.
Well, something that came to that, again, I did the old, huh? And you mentioned it in your scat when you used the word coerced. And that's out there. That's not hearsay. That's out there. I'm looking at Jenna Fryer's tweets from a couple of days ago. Yes, similar sources tell me any teams who have signed were coerced and threatened. That sounds like, and I think it was Polk that threw it out there, part of the 2311 team, that said this isn't the 1960s. These predatory practices do not withstand scrutiny.
Now, real quick.
Those are heavy words, though.
Extremely heavy words. Keselowski was asked about the coercion or the predatory tendencies of what happened Friday night when teams were told they need to sign. And Keselowski said he did not feel like he was forced as a team owner.
What else do you expect? Out of line, what is he going to say? He's towing the company line.
Keselowski is being a company line tower.
I agree with that too, which is why Denny Hamlin has his own set of what he wants in this whole thing, but I trust Denny Hamlin more coming out publicly because he's been the only one publicly on the side of drivers like him who are wanting his team to do better and to get more money. So I trust Denny Hamlin more than the teams who have already signed. So Kenny, when you said, the coercion thing, like that's why this came to go this so quickly is like Jennifer Fryer hinted at earlier this week.
Yeah.
They threatened to take those charters away and everybody jumped because they didn't want to play ball. It's like every negotiation, right? With any collective bargaining agreement, it's whoever jumps first. And for whatever reason, those teams got scared when they were threatened to take their charters away. That's exactly what happened here, right?
You think Rick Hendrick and Joe Gibbs and Roger Penske they could buy NASCAR? You think they were concerned about what threats NASCAR or coercion NASCAR would give them?
Yes, because like Denny Hamlin's always been saying, those charters are worth a lot of money. They are. They're $40 million worth of money, and NASCAR is taking that right out from underneath them to where that they wouldn't be able to run any races or anything. Or just
need to change their business model and the way they get money. NASCAR is telling them the old stuff doesn't work anymore. So you can't continue to sell Baby Ruths and Snickers for a nickel. You got to sell them for $1 now. And the model is changing. And if you don't change with it, you're going to get run over.
Okay, which makes Denny Hamlin and Bob Jenkins and Michael Jordan holding out all more worth it, right? Because they're like, hey, things have changed. We all, as a big family, a big racing family, need to change with it collectively, not just one entity, the sanctioning body, but all of us.
It's not about collective. That's the issue here. It's gone a different way. Penske's not sharing money. Gibbs is not sharing. You think when Gibbs went to Wall Street, you said, hey, dudes, why don't you come over here and let's get some of this money off of Wall Street? He locked it in and managed to solidify his business. And Rick Hendrick, go sell another 1,000 cars tomorrow. So that's the point. It's changing, and you can't ask for NASCAR. NASCAR's in a pickle sometimes itself. It needs money. And it's not sharing the money that it doesn't have. It's got to watch out for its future. So you can't ask NASCAR to share because it ain't a sharing business anymore.
This, according to kickingthetires.net, Bob Jenkins, was asked about the charter agreement. Some of the things that he said, Bob Jenkins with Front Row Motorsports, it says, I don't think you can give somebody a 105-page document at 6 o'clock on Friday night and expect them to sign it by midnight.
Okay.
I think it's very unreasonable there. And there have been some things that have happened through the negotiation process that, quite frankly, we just don't agree with. And we're obligated to negotiate in good faith, and we feel like we did. And I don't know that everything on the other side happened that way. My hope is that we'll continue the conversation and we'll get it figured out. NASCAR sure sounds like the old dude here. And they're using old dude guys like Joe Gibbs and Rick Hendrick and Roger Penske to go old dude negotiations. We got a break, Freak Nation. Denny Hamlin next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track of Lays. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, now through the end of October, you can get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card when you buy 4 qualifying light truck or SUV tires from General Tire. That's right, man. Now through the end of October, buy 4 qualifying light truck SUV tires from General Tire, get up to $100 back. Visa prepaid card. Check them out. GeneralTire.com.
Do you want to turn around and grab that hat again?
Not
this
now.
time, not grabbing your mic.
No, I'm not betting on that. But not happening again.
Bob Ross is wearing the General Tire hat. And
how about if I just do like over my shoulder, like
pointing
right? How about if I just
there?
do that? There's Bob Ross.
Mm-hmm. General Tire.
Crasher was part of the media scrum for the NASCAR playoffs last Charlotte, and Denny Hamlin was a highly sought-after figure. Crasher spent some good time with Denny, and they talked about a number of things, including this charter sitch that we spent the last 10, 12 minutes talking about in the last segment. Crasher started it off, where are the NASCAR charter discussions right now? Well, here's Denny Hamlin.
Stagnant.
What has to be done from either side to move it to the next level?
One side will have to wake up and be reasonable. That's all. Who's telling you it's getting closer and closer?
NASCAR. Yeah.
Well, of course, they want it to, but the truth is that they keep going the wrong direction. There's probably a handful of teams that are just happy to take any deal that they can get, and then there's others with some business sense that says this is unreasonable. But everyone's going to do what their own what they want to do that's best for their team, and each one of the teams will execute an agreement that they feel is fair for themselves.
You are the vocal team owner, but do you have people in your ear or yanking on you to say, hey, can you do this for us? Can you say this on your podcast? Can you get this word out?
I think not directly, no, but they don't hate it either. But I'm not, I don't love being the megaphone. I wish some of these other owners who are griping to me through text and calls would just do it publicly themselves. But I think that they fear pushback. But
what's the fear pushback though? Because trying to improve their side.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we're all trying to improve the sport and grow the sport, and we all want that. We all want what's best for the sport. The sport does great. We will do better. So I think we all just need to figure out how to lock arms and do it together. But we don't have any agreement in front of us that is locking of arms. It's all one-sided. People see me gripe, but they have to realize that I made a good living in this as a NASCAR driver, and I chose to invest back in the France family in NASCAR, and they are yet to show me an opportunity where I'm going to get that back.
Crasher spent some time with Denny Hamlin last week for the NASCAR playoffs in Charlotte, and listening to him talk about that, again, pardon me if I'm late to the program here, Freak Nation, but knowing that Denny Hamlin drives for another owner that's not speaking up and evidently signed the charter agreement, but Denny Hamlin is an owner of a team, 2 teams, with Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick, him and Michael Jordan, and Polk, first name? Chris Polk.
Curtis, excuse me.
Curtis Polk.
CP on the street. That's what we call him.
Think about those conversations. Or is that going to create a chasm between Denny Hamlin and Joe Gibbs? Because Joe Gibbs said, just give me the money. Give me the money. But Denny Hamlin said, no, I don't want the money yet. We got to get to a pleasant resolution here.
It's a mess.
I sort of disagree with what he's saying. It's like the teams that say they get a scholarship in college, and they say, well, we're making money off of you, and we're giving you an education that's worth $100,000 a year. With these charters, they're giving him a guarantee to be in the race, and they're guaranteeing him some money for being in the race, and whatever other perks that come from that, which allows them to go to investors and say, look, we're going to be out there every week, and we're going to be in competitive cars now. And I just think that he's going about it the wrong way. I think he's got to say, all right, they're giving me this. How do I capitalize on that and go make even more money? He's asking NASCAR for $1 million. Wall Street might give him 100 times that.
But why does this just seem so strange to me? This
because it's a different way of looking at the same thing. You know, when people say you sign this contract, we're going to own your names in perpetuity throughout the universe. That is, who's going to give up their name and likeness forever anywhere? And that's, you know, NASCAR said, well, then don't sign the contract, but don't complain about it in the same breath. Go make money. You say you're in business, then use NASCAR to go make money. Don't take money out of NASCAR's pocket.
Where it's strange to me, what I meant by that comment was Denny Hamlin is the only one that's out front of this thing and not one other team owner. I get Jenkins with Front Row Motorsports, but that's Front Row Motorsports. His drivers haven't won championships. But Joe Gibbs, Roger Penske, Rick Hendrick, none of those sons of bitches are speaking up either way. NASCAR's not speaking up. It's Denny Hamlin. And
Denny Hamlin did say in that clip, of the people who are texting me, of the people who are talking to me.
I would think.
But then all of a sudden, here we are, and they signed.
I would think Trackhouse would be one of those teams, the newer teams, younger teams that don't have that old white dude mentality involved in NASCAR. That Trackhouse and Pitbull, that they would be one of those that would be out in front of this thing.
Also, Colleague.
Saying either way, I'm not saying to take Denny's side, but just to come out and talk about it, because my goodness, we started talking about this in February, and here we are.
It's, you know, it's great that you mentioned that, Kenny. We literally know nothing about what's in this new agreement. Nothing's been leaked, right? It's so strange. Like, one of the big talking points from Denny Hamlin the entire time, I think maybe the biggest sticking point for him, is he wanted them to be permanent. He wants these charters to be permanent, and these owners, Rick Hendrick, it's at Penske, for them to be able to be passed down for generations. Where in its current iteration, they can't do that. And so I wonder if that is the sticking point here. And to me, that makes the most sense as being the biggest sticking point. But for whatever reason, we aren't learning what the full details behind this. And that's what's so weird about this. And every other collective bargaining story you've ever talked about, the NFL, whatever it may be, right? These player strikes and whatnot. There's always leaks. There's always something coming out, because you got the two sides. You got the players and you got the league. And in this case, the players in the league and the teams, they're all mixed together into one thing. And so there's not really like, it's like conglomerate now, as opposed to what you have in modern sports. It's NASCAR is such a unique thing when it comes to that. It really is.
It's just sounds so old Big Bill France-esque of how Richard Petty and the drivers at one time back in the 60s, Statman, or was it early 70s when they were going to strike?
That was back in the
day.
70s, yeah.
I almost asked Denny about, is this heading towards a strike? Now I wish I would have.
I've been saying that for months.
Yeah.
I thought that's how this was going to go. And that was the only way the teams were going to get what they wanted. And for whatever reason, they didn't do that. And I think they're paying for it now.
So essentially, these charters will expire at the end of the year if no deal is done. But is a deal essentially done, since the majority of the teams, from what we're told, what we've been told, have signed?
Well, it certainly makes it harder to strike and cause any damage to the overall business if only two teams are withholding their services or potential.
How many tickets does Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick punch for a race, or any driver for Front Row Motorsports? If these teams are striking, they punch.
The industry is bigger than any individual, and that's what NASCAR is selling. Said we're stock car racing. We're not Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch and these other people. We're stock car racing. We're Hendrick Motorsports. We're Penske. We're Ford. We're Chevy. We're Toyota.
Can't do it, Crasher. We got a break. We had more sound from Denny Hamlin that we will put up on our socials. Be sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, the Denny Hamlin that you've heard, we've had it up on Instagram, and people are going bananas with it.
Oh, when he says NASCAR just doesn't value us.
Dang.
Pretty harsh.
Yep. Those are harsh words, Freak Nation. Hey, second hour of the Freaks, the Daytona 500 of the championship. We ask a number of drivers, which one would they prefer to win, a championship or the Daytona 500? It'll surprise you. Scott Borchetta, the owner of one of the biggest music labels on the planet, now part of IndyCar's promotion and ownership of the Nashville race finale, he joins us in the second hour. Big second hour of the Freaks coming up.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freak.
Coming up in the second hour, Freak Nation, a promoter for an IndyCar race that owns one of the largest country and rock music labels on the planet. Scott Borchetta will be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Survived an accident in his Trans Am, his TA2 car, at 150 miles an hour into a turn. Bam! Damn near head on, crushed numerous bones in his body. And this guy's back, able to talk about it, and able to promote this IndyCar finale coming up next weekend, or actually coming up this weekend, Sunday in Nashville. He's going to be here in the Freak Nation. Also coming up, we're going to hear from NASCAR Cup Series drivers. And I'm really surprised with these answers. I mean, really surprised, because they are 180 degrees from IndyCar drivers. We're asking them Daytona 500 or NASCAR Championship. Which one do you want the most? Which one do you want the most? NASCAR Cup Championship or the Daytona 500? We'll get to that. Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes coming up. And we'll also get to Crash. You had a chance to speak to some drivers about the 4 drivers they would like to meet in that final round at Phoenix, right?
If they, as a playoff driver right now, if they were to be guaranteed, or if they knew that they were going to be one of the final 4 drivers, who are the other 3 drivers that they would most like to race with? They could interpret that question as who do they think are the 3 worst drivers in the playoffs so that they know they could beat them, or who do they feel the most comfortable around on the track in order to get around them and win the championship?
Why do I have a feeling that that the Ford driver is going to say Ford, the Toyota driver is going to say Toyota, and the Chevy driver is going to say the Chevy? Because
that's the easy answer. I hope that I can get somewhat into the personalities of who they truly trust on the track. But then again, drivers will be drivers.
All right, Crash Gladys, how about some pit news and notes brought to you by good friends at Lucas Oil? Do yourself a favor, Freak Nation. Go to lucasoil.com, check out a line of products to keep your rides on the road. Talking about 2-wheel, 4-wheel, marine products. Hey, man, winter is around the corner. Well, okay, we got to get the fall first, then winter. Make sure it's loaded with Lucas Oil products. That's lucasoil.com. Crasher?
I saw that Bills Cardinals game today. Fall is there for many cities, unlike some of us in the West, where it's still 100 degrees. But playoffs, let's talk about playoffs. I know NFL just started this weekend, far from the playoffs, but motorsports are in their playoffs. Super Motocross and NASCAR, welcome to the playoffs. Oh, and a Larson won this weekend. Yes, Larson won this weekend. For all of you shaking your head going, you're an idiot. Let me get to that first, all right? Nitro Cross, formerly Nitro Rallycross, Nitro Cross kicked off at Richmond Raceway. Robin Larson dominated en route to his title defense light to flag victory in race 1. So yes, I ain't lying. Larson won this weekend. Super Motocross was back for year 2 of their official Supercross Motocross playoff system. And guess who was back on the attack again in Charlotte? Though he claimed he shocked himself, probably more than we in the media and his fan base may have been shocked by his comeback, Jet Lawrence. He split the motos with Eli Tomac, but netted the overall to take round 1 of the 450 Super Motocross rounds. While Hayden Deegan, he started back in the pack and then made his way through both motos in the 250s for the overall dub to extend his Super Motocross World Championship lead. NASCAR on the Atlanta, shall we call it a mini super speedway? It was again a treat for all of you who turned off the pigskin and turned on motorsports. You got a treat. In the Xfinity Series, Austin Hill tied himself with Dale Earnhardt Jr. in overall Xfinity wins on drafting tracks. Yes, he now has 7. If he should take the Xfinity win in Talladega coming up, he would then be tied with Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Sr.
All right.
Huge. In the Wild Cup race on Sunday, Joey Logano pulled off a bit of a surprising win to keep himself locked into the next playoff round, while Kyle Larson suffered a massive hit. And other playoff drivers like Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Briscoe, Harrison Burton, they were all victims of carnage as well. On to Watkins Glen. On the Pennsylvania dirt, Rico Abreu is finally able to check off another box on his flourishing resume. He beat the Pennsylvania Posse at Port Royal for his first ever win at the Speed Palace. That was in the High Limit Racing Series.
Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Again, go to lucasoil.com to check out a line of products to keep your motorcycle, your hot rod, your speedboat, your camping truck, your RV, all fat and happy on the road. Richie, between now and the end of the show, will you please bring up a picture, a side shot of Ty Gibbs' lettuce that he had at the press conference last week for the playoff drivers? It was incredible. It was full on evangelical 1980s. It was just, will you please bring that up? And I want to get to it maybe last segment of the show.
Wow.
Yeah, it was legit.
And we had Ross Chastain completely clean shaven for the first time in, I believe, 7 years too. You get the playoffs and you get drivers going crazy.
Right.
Whereas Ryan Blaney is just beginning to grow his playoff beard. So hair. That's what we're going to talk about on Speed Freaks. Hair, facial hair, dome hair.
Crasher, share with the Freak Nation. You were hanging out. Again, we talked a bit about it last hour, but those folks just tuning in, you made a special trip to Charlotte last week.
Yes, it was the NASCAR Cup Playoffs Media Day, where all 16 playoff drivers were made available to the media who were there at the convention center downtown Charlotte. And we got a chance to just chat it up, ask anything, mostly playoff questions related. But of course, like we talked about last hour, the discussions of NASCAR charters came up, the discussions of who do you like, who do you not like, the IndyCar discussions of Daniel Suarez and Pato O'Ward. So many different things came up. But we had some other questions that we decided to ask in regards to the championship or NASCAR's, I mean, nobody can argue this, right? NASCAR's Super Bowl event. Which one is more important?
This was a shocker for me, a full-fledged shocker, because I thought it would go, again, some of these drivers would go the other way. There's Kyle Larson in here, Christopher Bell, Harrison Burton, Austin Cindric, Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, I believe, is also in here. So we're asking them, which would you rather win, the Daytona 500 or a NASCAR Cup Championship? See if it surprises you, Freak Nation. We kick it off with Kyle Larson.
The next opportunity I have to add one of those to my resume would be a championship. So right now I would say a championship.
Definitely the NASCAR championship. I mean, if you would have said the Southern 500 or a NASCAR championship, I would have been a little bit more on the fence. But the Daytona 500, it is a big race in our sport, but everyone in our industry kind of knows, what it is, and it's a speedway race. And I mean, you might as well go to Vegas and go play some slot machines or something.
I'd rather win a championship for sure, easily. Yeah, I love Daytona. Obviously, won my first Cup race at Daytona. The Daytona 500 is up there. It's like the second race that I would want to win. I want to win the Southern 500 more than anything in the world. Probably Cup championship more than that still, but for me, the championship is everything. I watched my dad go years and years and years and years, winning a lot of races. The one thing he wishes he did was win a championship.
It's hard to place one, in my opinion, over the other, but what it takes to win the 500 versus what it takes to win a championship are two very different things.
What would Michael want more?
I think he'd want the championship more.
I would say a championship's more important to me. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of speedway racing, right? So that's just not. Obviously, we were really close to winning the Daytona 500 this year with running second, and that stung. But to me, a championship's more important.
So if I have the choice between one championship or one Daytona 500, I would probably pick one championship. I think one of them carries more weight over the course of like a season and like what you did for the year.
The 500 to me is like super, tantalizing because I've been so close to it like 2 or 3 times. I've just missed out on it. That's such a hard race to win too. The championship's hard to win. So I really don't know what I'd want to pick. Either one of the two is fine with me. If I can get another championship or a Daytona 500, I'm going to be happy with whatever one is. I'm lucky enough to win.
And I think it was, hold on just a second, Kenny. I think it was Martin Truex that I talked with after some of these answers and said, I'm confused as to why you guys are mostly saying a championship over the Daytona 500 when fans on the periphery, they don't necessarily follow NASCAR 24/7, 365, but they will know your name 30 years down the road if you are a Daytona 500 winner. They might not know you as a NASCAR champion. So I was blown away. And he just said, yeah, but for us as drivers, it means so much more to win a championship because of all the work that goes into it.
Statman, what did you pull from those answers?
I would think that the hard work of getting a championship and the consistency during the course of a season of a championship, I think that's what they winning at Daytona can be pretty haphazard or random, but a championship, you have to be good for the entire year.
Suave, real quick, what did you pull from those answers?
I was shocked to hear a couple drivers mention the Southern 500 over the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
I think I understand why for sure, because it's more of a driver's racetrack than the luck of the Daytona 500. But still, like most people, Daytona 500, everybody knows that. Not a lot of people outside of the sport are familiar with the Southern 500.
I could walk up to Joe Blow there sitting behind the 7-Eleven and say Daytona 500 or NASCAR championship. He would know the Daytona 500 before he would know the NASCAR championship. But again, we're asking the drivers, Freak Nation. And Crasher, you're right. We got a break here in about 30 seconds. IndyCar drivers would all say the Indy 500.
They would all say the difference. The big Super Bowl event, not the championship. But then again, we are talking about two different series.
All right, Freak Nation, Scott Borchetta owns one of the largest rock and country music labels on the planet, Big Machine Label Group, and he's also promoting and owns basically the Nashville IndyCar Series finale. It's an incredible story. He joins us next, Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track of Lays. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
This freaking segment's brought to you by good friends at General Tires. Now through the end of October, buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires and get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Need more information? Go to the website. GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire for Speed Freaks for the last 2 decades. Freak Nation, it's his first time joining the Freaks. Scott Borchetta here in the Freak Nation. And I said this before we went live. I'm surprised he hadn't jumped in on us or jumped in with us earlier, because any dude that runs a label that houses Ray Wiley freaking Hubbard is a friend of mine, Scott Borchetta.
I love that. Yeah, Brother Ray and Snake Farm.
Yes, we could go on and on about that. But one reason why we've got you in here, well, frankly, is because the IndyCar race that with the finale ending up in Nashville, not only do you had a Big Machine label group, but again, now you had the promotion and actually running the Grand Prix there in Nashville. Went from the road course now to the oval. You took this over not just because you saw the benefits of what it does to the city, but your love for motorsports, Scott. If people don't follow you, they don't understand the trek that got you to this point of actually racing, having a horrible accident in Trans Am, and now here you are on camera, the importance that motorsports means to you.
You know, it's just part of my DNA. My very first race was the 1970 California 500. And that was the Johnny Lightning, Al Unser senior car, and Bobby Unser, and Dan Gurney, and AJ Foyt, and Mario Andretti. And to this day, there's still a lightning bolt in my Scott Borchetta Racing logo. So it just imprinted me from a very young age. And really, music and racing is pretty much been my entire life, as far as my true real passions. And you know, for it to come full circle for us to, you know, we were the sponsor the first 3 years, and now to actually owning the race and making sure all the promotion is in place and the marketing. We have been so loud about this, and the fact that we truly do have the finale is a really big deal. We were really concerned that Palou might have, you know, clinched it at Milwaukee, and so, you know, while they had a terrible day, we were kind of happy about it that they didn't clinch. So, you know, we have a really great storyline. You know, there are real stakes this coming weekend, as you have Alex and Will Power, who have both won 2 championships. And it's the first time in the history of IndyCar, over 100 years, that you have 2 guys who are going to fight for their 3rd championship. So it's really turned into a great narrative.
So what you're saying, though, because, you know, media likes to twist things, what you're saying is you were responsible for his hybrid going bad in Milwaukee.
No, you know, I can't take any credit for that. But I did tell Dario pre-race, I'm like, you better pull him in, you know, for, you know, have him go a lap down, whatever you have to do. Just make sure I've got a race. And he started laughing. Then we were texting right afterward. I'm like, I'm sorry if I cursed you, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Exactly.
Yeah.
Scott Borchetta joining us here in the Freak Nation. And Scott, one of the fascinating aspects of you owning this race is from Big Machine Label Group. It's a record label, but the bottom line is promotion and promoting your bands, promoting your artists, which frankly in some markets lack for motorsports. So you've already got that blueprint, that style on how to promote something and something successful. What kind of heat do you feel as a promoter to put butts in the seats for Nashville and the IndyCar series?
Now more than ever, you know, it's as the sponsor, it wasn't my, you know, you want it to be great, but it wasn't my responsibility at the end of the day. And, you know, I've taken on a lot more than I should have with this thing, but it was a situation where, you know, as all of you know, the motorsports fraternity isn't one you just walk into and you're part of. You know, it takes years to earn respect and credibility. And had we not continued with the race, it was going to end badly. And I wasn't going to do that to Nashville, to IndyCar, or to the Big Machine brand. And so, you know, looking at the challenge of moving the race out to the super speedway, of filling that place, and making sure that we have a fantastic finale. We've spent every waking moment that I'm not doing the label stuff to make sure we're throwing everything at this, that we have great artists, great packages, great fan experience. And, you know, we're 100% ahead of where the actual grandstand seats were from last year. and there's not a club ticket to be had. I was just on the phone with Larry Floyd. He goes, "Hey man, I've got some of my Phoenix people and they're online." I'm like, "Larry, there's nothing left as far as premium hospitality." So we're at an overflow situation with all of our suites, which is really great. And it's harder to sell a $150 ticket than a $1,500 hospitality ticket. So we have not taken that lightly, and we are on the streets, man. We are everywhere, and it's really been fascinating and a reminder that everything you do in marketing is about the one-to-one connection, whether you're doing it in a digital way or person to person. And it's really been fun to sit down with people that really had no idea what was going on. You think you're being as loud as you possibly can be, and you think you have everything covered, and you go, "Oh, we didn't know." It's like, "Well, what didn't you know?" It's like, "Well, you moved the race," and you're like, "Yes, we've moved the race." And the point is, you can never stop promoting. You can never stop marketing. You can never stop talking about the priorities and cutting through the noise. People go, "Well, why does Budweiser still advertise?" Well, you don't stay the king of beers by just sitting in the throne and saying, "Oh, we're the king of beers." You just have to keep out there and keep in front of people. And, again, referencing my very first race, it's really critical to me to get young kids involved and let them see their first race. Because if we get them at the right age, it's the same as seeing your first concert. You never forget that first race. So there's a huge emphasis moving forward to make sure we're starting even at the elementary level, to make sure they see the awe of IndyCar and embracing in general.
The bottom line is, when is your start date with IndyCar to take over the series? I'm just asking for a friend.
Well, I'm not sure that on September 16th, Mr. Penske won't kick me out. So it's somewhere in between.
But your reality of how to market, your knowledge of promotion is sorely needed in IndyCar right now. It's been a difficult year, and fans have, if you look at social media, fans have had it. They want this outside the box thinking. You bring that. How can you further help the series, not just in Nashville, but around the country and around the world moving forward?
I can tell you that we've had some really fantastic, positive meetings with Mr. Penske and Bud Denker, Jonathan Gibson, and people I respect to the nth degree. And we presented some pretty outside the box thinking and ideas for them for next year. So we're on that track. I'm not saying we would take it over by any stretch, but as far as what we can do for the Nashville race and make sure there are stakes all year long and the kind of noise that we want to bring to the series, and I don't want to be openly critical. It's not really my place, but I see some of the things that we can absolutely assist with. When your version of Drive to Survive is called 100 Days to Indy, and you're the 5th race of the season, it's like, what's the message you're sending to the rest of the world, that the next 12 races don't count? That's a miss, straight up. And, if we don't at least talk about those things, we can't fix those things. And it's no disrespect, because without the Indy 500, we don't have IndyCar. But let's turn the turrets. We have the Indy 500. So let's use that as the launch point to educate people on what a great sport we have and what great drivers we have, and take advantage of the fact that we have guys who came from F1 over to IndyCar. It wasn't, in a different era, which the whole different conspiracy theory we could get into with Juan Pablo Montoya and Nigel Mansell and Michael Andretti. And that's for another session. Mm-hmm. But, the fact that we have some of the biggest names in open wheel that have come to IndyCar, we need to scream about those things. Why are we a partner with McLaren? It's one of the sexiest motorsports brands in the world. And that's what I want people to relate to us, of like, Nashville is the it city. It's one of the most entertaining cities in the world. Formula One, we all know what that is. We know what McLaren is. And, I've taken some criticism for that. I don't care. Zach Brown is a dear friend and a great operator. And so, to be on those socials and have those drivers talking about this and talking about our race, that's the kind of noise that I want to bring to Nashville. The goal is, if if we can get back downtown, the dream has always been to make it the Monaco of the South. Can we get there?
Ooh.
I don't know, but that's the big vision. If this thing can really build the way that we all hope it can build.
Freak Nation, I got to be honest with you. I did not expect Scott Borchetta to talk this darn much, but it's interesting conversation. Scott, can you hang around and we'll make this a two-parter? Hang around and we'll talk more with you. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
All right. Freak Nation, as you heard, Scott Borchetta, president, Big Machine Label Group, again, owns the Nashville Grand Prix with IndyCar Series. So much to talk about. More with Scott Borchetta coming up. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Rev up your passion for speed. MAVTV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, MAVTV Go has something for everyone. MAVTV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire. And the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
We continue on with part 2 with Scott Borchetta, president, owner, CEO of Big Machine music label. Sheryl Crow, Motley Crue, Dolly Parton, Brantley Gilbert, so many artists on this label, but also the promoter, owner of the Nashville Grand Prix with the IndyCar Series. We continue with Scott Borchetta, now Speed Freak Spitz and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Scott, can you shed some light? Obviously, NASCAR releasing their schedule a couple of weeks ago, put the whole issue of Mexico City at the forefront. But now this week it's been, okay, Richmond. And then why won't IndyCar go to Richmond? We need some more ovals. Or, hey, what about Watkins Glen? You look at the map of the United States, you see some big holes. Phoenix, could you shed some light on, is there an issue with IndyCar renting some of the NASCAR tracks like a Phoenix, like a Richmond, like a Watkins Glen to get into some of these bigger markets for a different set of eyeballs than what they already have?
There's things I know about that I can't talk about that I think IndyCar fans are going to be very excited about. It's not like Mark Miles and team are sitting still on any day of the week. And it's very hard, when it's very unfortunate what happened with Pato and with Mexico City. And, we got to look at the positive of, like, now here's a bunch of noise. So we have a chance to do the right thing. Just like, okay, you know what? We do have a world-class Mexican driver. We are a very international series. And so I would invite everybody to not think for 1 minute that Penske Entertainment and IndyCar are not looking at the opportunities. Now, do they need me to move a little faster? Yes, they need to move a little bit faster. But, this is not easy business. It's a very hard business. And, if you look at what Mr. Penske had to do to take over the Speedway, to take over IndyCar and right the ship, that's a big ship. And it's very expensive. It's a very expensive sport. It's very expensive to put these races on. And so, you have to balance out, does it make sense to go to Richmond as far as a market size? I don't know, straight up. Are we going to be better off if we can get the level of promotion that we brought? We've got to market. We've got to market bigger, louder, prouder, make stars out of these drivers. And then all of a sudden, the Phoenix race is sold out. How do we get back into more major markets? There's not enough major markets on the calendar for IndyCar. We don't arguably have a top 10 market right now. Long Beach is LA County, but Long Beach proper is not a top 10 market. So, F1 has come in and kind of kicked our butt. They took Miami right out from underneath us, and they took Las Vegas right out from underneath us. So everybody knows this. I'm not saying anything that anybody doesn't know. If I'm defining it and underlining it and bolding it, maybe we can all come together. But I'm not going to say anything that Michael Andretti or Chip Ganassi or Zach Brown hasn't said. Right. Yes, we all want the same thing. And, we've got to move it front burner. We've got to have more investment in this. We need more manufacturers in it. That this can be what it was.
What's the breaking point between great racing on the track and empty seats in the grandstand? How do you make those two come together?
It's consistency and education and exposure. We've got to go to them. They're not going to come to us. It's not you build it and they will come. They will not. You've got to go to them, invite them, bring them out, sample the product. It's like any other product. And nobody can be so proud to think, okay, we're just going to build it, show up, and they're going to show up. They're not going to show up. So we've got to go out into the hitters and show these people what a great sport we have. Colton Herta showed up at the Wilson County Fair for us. Okay. These guys are doing the work. Scott Dixon, Scott, how can I help you with the race? Oh. It's so fun to walk through the paddock. And Marcus Erickson said, how can I help you? What can I post? So everybody wants this, and the relationship now that we've had with Pato and Alex working with McLaren this year, and Zach Brown's doing media with me next week. Okay. Everybody is putting their best foot forward to see this continue to be great. When you have the biggest one-day sporting event in the world, nobody's taking that for granted. We don't want to lose that ever. That race never disappoints. The Indy 500 is like Christmas for me. It never disappoints. And we can continue to have that energy and make stars out of these guys. They are stars. So how do we look at making them bigger stars? I always say about my artists, Every artist has an audience. We just don't know how big. Same for IndyCar. It has an audience. Let's not put a ceiling on it. I think the Fox thing is fantastic. What Eric Shanks and that team are going to do, I've been telling this to IndyCar and NASCAR for years. I know every Sunday during football season at 12 o'clock, we're kicking off. In Central Time, noon, TV's on, we're kicking off. When I own a NASCAR Xfinity team and I can't find freaking qualifying, I'm like, where is it? Is it on USA? Is it on Peacock? Where the hell is it? And I own a team. So it's way too hard to find. So great move for IndyCar next year. We're going to be on Fox Linear for every race. And I've worked with Fox when I was on American Idol. They're going to do a fantastic job with this. So a lot of excitement going into next year. And also too, with the finale, forever, the IndyCar finale has been buried in the NFL season. For the first time in modern times, we're going to have the finale on Labor Day weekend with no NFL traffic. So we're going to turn that into Championship Sunday on an F1 level starting next year. And we don't have any real major sports to compete with. So there's a lot of positives right ahead of us. And I would encourage everybody to look at that.
Scott Borchetta joining us here in the Freak Nation. And we didn't even talk about that nasty accident in the Trans Am car, my friend. And the more I look at it, the more I'm impressed that I'm looking at a gentleman on camera with me, showing me his guns. Because hitting the wall at triple digits, my friend, a lot of folks don't return from that. And if you could just give me a little background on how you're doing after that accident, what it did to you mentally, and how you're able to proceed to get in front of a camera and look like a dude that did not hit a wall with triple digits.
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun. I was racing at Road Atlanta in the Trans Am 2 series and had complete brake failure going into turn 1 over 150 miles an hour. And that's a turn that if you're going to run fast, you've got to bring a lot of speed. You brake really late, just about 325 on the marker. And the right rear caliper exploded. It wasn't even a soft pedal. It was a no pedal. As soon as I went to it, because, in road racing, you're doing 800 to 1,000 pounds foot brake pressure. And in that moment, I knew I was in bad shape. So I tried to hit the inside wall, kind of skipped it, and then it shot me across. And I knew in that moment that I was in big trouble. And I was knocked out briefly, but I was coherent during most of it. And when I looked down, it's like, oh boy, this is bad. And I almost died in the ambulance. I was bleeding out. And when I look back at some of the things, working with a nutritionist and being in the best shape I could be in, because I wanted to beat those 20-year-olds, and more often than not, we did. And that saved my life. When my body needed 165 beats per minute, I'd been training there. And so it didn't send me into shock. I didn't have a stroke. I didn't have a heart attack. And, once I was pretty coherent in and out. And, I was in so much pain. One of my meditations is counting backwards from 1,000, just when trying to fall asleep, whatever. And my mantra became just get to the next minute. And I was just counting backward and just trying to let go to the pain and let it go. And literally said, if you're going to die, just die. It's okay. Just let go. And once I couldn't wait to get to the hospital because I knew they were going to put me under. So if I could just get there, whatever it is, this pain's going to go away one way or the other. And when I woke up and my wife was in the room and I saw all this stuff coming out of me, and it's like, well, I've survived. I'm not going to let this define my life. So as soon as I could get them in there, I had the machines in there, the leg machines, and my masseuse coming in, working on circulation and continuing with my vitamin routine as soon as I could. And as soon as I could get therapists, I'm working with 3 physical therapists still, because now I've become addicted to it. And I've got full mobility back. After I healed, because I shattered both ankles, broke both tibias, cracked my pelvis in 4 places, broke 5 ribs, cracked 4. It was terrible. And it's like, okay, nobody cares. It's up to you. What do you want to do with the rest of your life? And I've been so blessed. I didn't want that to define the rest of my life. And so I put every waking moment when I'm not doing this crazy race in the label into recovery. And I'm as I mentioned, I'm full mobility, and I get X-rays on my ankles every 90 days.
Scott Borchetta, this is a fantastic interview, man. I didn't expect this. Scott, thanks for doing this, buddy. Look forward to meeting you up close and personal next time, buddy.
Well, thank you, and open invitation to attend the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix.
And coming up next, of the playoff drivers that we talked to, we asked them the 3 other drivers they want to face in Phoenix. You'll be surprised. That's next. Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. And if you buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires, you'll get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Rev up your passion for speed. Mav TV Go is the ultimate streaming app for race fans. Enjoy exclusive racing, live events, groundbreaking originals, and a lot more. Anytime, anywhere, for free. Whether you're a diehard or just getting started, Mav TV Go has something for everyone. Mav TV Go, your global home of motorsports, now on the go. Download the app now.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire, and the countdown to the championship is setting the track ablaze. September 27th through 29th, Tony Stewart and more continue their chase for the crown at the NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get your tickets at WWTRaceway.com for a weekend of nitro-charged playoff action. Kids 12 and under get in free with general admission. The NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today.
Where leverage lies, it's looks like
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery.
It's
FVP.
Stars on the race
Verified, proven.
That is what has built the sport.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Motorsports Radio Redefined.
This freaking segment is brought to you by good friends at General Tires. Now through the end of October, buy 4 qualifying SUV or light truck tires and get up to $100 back with a Visa prepaid card. Need more information? Go to the website, GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire for speed freaks for the last 2 decades. Freak Nation, be sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the website, speedfreaks.tv. Every weekend, there's a big old race. You'll have a shot at winning a set of General Tires with Beat the Freaks. Be sure you follow us on Twitter for that one.
I felt sorry for our winner, our selected participant this weekend. As soon as Larson went out, I was like, oh, sorry.
Hey, I got Logano.
Did you really?
Hell yes, I did. You kidding me? Right on.
Wait a minute. Statman, you picked Logano too, didn't you?
No, he's not on my bench.
Oh, Blaney was your Ford driver, right?
I had Blaney.
Yeah, just agree.
William Byron, and yeah, whatever. But
yes,
I didn't have Logano.
Crasher had a chance to catch up with numerous drivers for the NASCAR playoffs press conference last weekend in Charlotte, asking them many different questions. And we put together a compilation of asking drivers that are in the playoffs, who are the final. Oh, Crasher, you can set it up better than I can because you were there.
Oh, okay. Well, the Ford, basically, NASCAR has 3 cutoff rounds to get to the final 4 in Phoenix. I don't think NASCAR technically calls it the final 4, but people know what we're saying when we say final 4. So you have the final 4 drivers vying for the NASCAR championship at one race in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I asked drivers, you are one of those final 4. Who are the 3 drivers that you would prefer to race against in the championship? Now, several drivers took the interpretation of that question differently, as you'll see right here.
So you're asking me who do I think the 3 worst drivers are in the playoffs?
Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, and William Byron.
Oh, I don't want anybody with me. I hope it's just me. But if there's other 3, I'd go Joey, Logano, Ryan Blaney, and Austin Cindric.
I mean, I honestly have no idea who it could be.
Well, I mean, if somehow, a lot of these guys at the back of the playoff field make it to Phoenix, I feel better about my odds.
My best championship 4 would be me, Ryan, Joey, and Harrison. That'd be fantastic.
I don't trust anybody. I trust this guy a little bit and Julian, that's it.
I can't say my teammates. I don't know. Mrs. Hendrick really wants it to be my teammates, so I'm going to break your rule and say my teammates.
I told Bowman, the rule is you can't pick your teammates. He said, I'm going to have to break the rule. I'm going to go with the misses.
When you start signing checks, they'll do it.
And then what Suarez was referring to is, I'd rather have my PR guy. That's who he was pointing to straight ahead. I'd rather my PR guy and my wife. Okay.
Statman, think about this. If it's coming down to Phoenix and you don't have a dog in this fight, but you get to choose, Statman. You get to choose 4 drivers to go into Phoenix to battle for that championship. Of those 16 drivers, who would you, 4 of those 16, yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot. Of those 16 drivers, who are the 4 and why would you want those 4 in there?
I would rather have Richie Flores, Kenny Sargent, Crash Gladys, and Statman. Those are the 4.
Okay.
And of these 4 that he just referenced, Statman is a former race car driver himself. He would kick our asses.
So the idea is to have people bet against the freaks. Who are the 4 drivers that you would pick, Statman?
I don't know. I can't think of 4 of the 16. Besides the
I'll help you. Harrison Burton, number 1. Statman, your favorite driver. 34th in playoff points before coming before his win.
And I don't know. I mean, I'll just go with the obvious. And I'd have to have the list in front of me. But the only 4 I can think of are Kyle Larson, Joey Logano.
And your go-tos are in there too. William Byron and Martin Truex.
And William Byron. Yeah, those are the 4. Those would be the 4.
So our daughter is watching Atlanta today. She goes, "Ooh, Denny's in the demotion zone. I like that. Let's keep him in the demotion zone. Who are the drivers I want in the demotion zone?" She goes, "Mom, Chase Elliott's not nice, is he? People think he's nice, but he's not, is he?" And I go, "Oh my, are we rubbing off on her or what?" So she goes, "Mom, my demotion zone is Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, and I don't know. Mike Hanley, you've said enough. You've said enough. Granted, that's the opposite of what you're asking. You're asking who do we want in the playoffs, not who do we want to be demoted out of the first round. Okay, in the playoffs.
I think it's awesome. I've asked this question. Now we're 5.5 minutes into it. We don't have a straight answer yet.
You want to see the best
four guys?
Well, with their cheat sheet.
Can you answer the damn question?
Okay.
I got my 4 if nobody else wants to go. For
you want
goodness
to see
sake.
the 4 best drivers with the 4 best chances at winning at Phoenix. So yes,
No, you
Kyle
don't.
Larson.
No.
Why?
No. If we're answering the question, if you're in the seat, this is how I'm taking it, Kenny. If I'm in the driver's seat, I want the 3 worst drivers on the grid.
Okay, is it against us as a driver, or who do we want to?
Who do we want to watch, Richie?
Who do we want to watch?
Richie.
Or who do you want to watch?
Yes. Oh
That's
my
boring.
God.
That's not interesting. I want to answer what the drivers are answering.
You can't beat any of the drivers, Richie Flores. I mean, you've got a freaking driver's name, Richie C. Flores.
Dun, dun, dun.
Number 69, Richard C. Flores.
Nice. Okay, well, my pick to win the championship is Christopher Bell. So Christopher Bell's gonna be in it as well. And then give me the most fun guys out there. Give me a Suarez. Give me a Denny Hamlin, and give me Martin Truex Jr. because it's his last season. How about that for your answer? Okay, put that in your pipe and smoke it, Freak Nation.
Bell, you're picking Christopher Bell.
Yes, it's his time. He's made the Final Four 2 straight seasons. He's been close, and I think this is his year.
Phoenix is right up his alley. He can do it if he gets there.
Yeah, well, nothing's fair. Like I say, a fair is a place you go to in the summertime.
I want to see Bell. Hold on, I haven't answered you yet.
I always go last, man.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh! Is this the series director crying?
Yeah.
Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin. Ooh. And I don't know.
Whoa.
There's your answer.
You think Denny Hamlin's tears and worries will get in the way of him winning a championship?
Today did him no favors. Let's put it. Or Sunday did him no favors. Let's put it that way. But I want to see him and his loud mouth, his megaphone. I know he doesn't want to be the megaphone. I want to see him all the way through to the playoffs. I want to see this chartered unrest go all the way through the playoffs and him at the forefront of it. So yes. Oh, and Tyler Reddick's my 4th. I want Tyler all the way there.
See, don't you want to see seriously? Don't you want to see this? Don't you want to see Harrison Burton, Ty Gibbs?
Not doing
what?
it.
Would you just let me
But I
talk
see what
for
you're
a
saying.
G-damn minute? F. Ty Gibbs, Harrison Burton, Daniel Suarez, and Denny Hamlin. The vitriol towards Denny Hamlin and the sudden push for Harrison Burton and Ty Gibbs just to kick Denny Hamlin's ass out of there. The Twitter, X would turn its name back to Twitter. It'd be so crazy. You want Denny Hamlin in there and the least likely dudes to win it.
You know, Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs are teammates.
I don't care.
Okay.
Still, I mean, Ty Gibbs has as many fans as I do in NASCAR. So having Ty Gibbs, Harrison Burton, and some rando, and a Denny Hamlin, just the vitriol.
I love that word, rando.
It would be cool to see Harrison Burton there. And today he had a great Atlanta run.
A super speedway. Imagine that.
Okay, fine.
Crasher. Let's see how he fares at Watkins Glen. Okay, Statman, here you go. Does Harrison Burton get a top 25 finish at Watkins Glen next week? Go.
No.
Crash.
Yes.
Richie.
I'd say yes. Why not? I don't know how good he is on road courses, but
says the guy that won 70 cents last weekend betting on football.
What?
70 cents.
It's true. Damn right. Let's go.
It's
Come
a
on.
win. It's a win. It's not a
Richie,
loss.
seriously, tell the Freak Nation.
We don't have time.
Yes, we do. We've got a minute.
All right, here's the thing. Sports betting is legal here in the state of Arizona, so I like to partake. It's more fun. I'm not a big bettor. I'm like a $10 bettor. So I put $5. Okay. I put $5 on the Buffalo Bills team total over 27.5. And that was like my biggest bet on Sunday in week 1 of the NFL. And dang right, they did it. Thank you, Josh Allen. And so I won a total of 70 cents. Yeah, so I'm 70 cents in the black, baby. Let's go.
It's a win. It's a win.
Oh, and I've been to Las Vegas with Statman, Crasher, Richie.
dice chasing.
Hey, unless you want to stake me like $70 next time, Kenny, you're more than like, come on. We can go out together.
70s. Why? It's not. I mean, the breath isn't even worth 70 cents, Richie. Wasting your time with that. All right.
What's 70 cents times?
Okay, Freak Nation. We will do it again next weekend. Maybe Richie will.
Another 70 cents.
There it is. All right, Stat Man, shoot the juice to the moose and
cut it loose.
See ya.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices,